But right now, I'd like to introduce our missions coordinator and a special guest today for our mission moment. So, Rachel Deeds, come on up and share what you got.
Got a two-microphone morning. Good morning. I am here with my new friend, Cathy Ritter, and she is going to talk to y'all about an amazing opportunity in ministry here locally. Oh, we have slides. Cathy, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with this ministry.
Hi, everybody. First of all, thank you so much for letting me be here today. Thank you for Rachel for inviting me. My name is Cathy Ritter. I see it's Jersey Day. I've got my God jersey on today for Village, representing Village. I'll tell you a little bit about how I got to the point that we are now. My husband and I are from the Shenandoah Valley, Winchester, Stevens City area. That's where we grew up. But our children moved here to Richmond, so we came here to follow them and be with our grandkids. Back in Stevens City, I'm an early childhood educator. I started a preschool, a daycare, and an after-school program. But more importantly, I was on the missions team, and I took youth to Appalachia for 10 years to rebuild homes for people. And then when I was done with that, I started a food pantry at our church and coordinated it for 15 years. So right before we came here, I was kind of overwhelmed with a lot of things I was in charge of, and I thought, when I get to Richmond, I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to do much. Well, God did not accept that. And pretty soon I got involved with a homeless organization, Blessing Warriors, and started doing things like making sandwiches, buying tents and sleeping bags and stuff. But first I'm going to talk a little bit about homelessness. Excuse me, I have allergies. I think when most of us see homeless, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Addiction. Okay, if you could show, I'd like to show you an example, a good example of an iceberg that describes addiction. What we see at the tip of the iceberg is the addiction, but underneath there are so many reasons that lead people to that. It could be childhood trauma. A lot of children are raised in pretty bad homes. Mental health challenges, which that might lead to the mental health challenges. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, poverty, loneliness, grief and loss and pain. So if you could look, people can make a choice. How am I going to live when I have all this on me? And sometimes people commit suicide. Some people turn to drugs. Another big issue with homelessness is affordable housing, which is a problem across the whole United States. So with this, I was privileged to go, I partnered with Ernie Taylor with Backpacks for the Homeless just last week or 2 weeks ago, and he took me to where they deliver food to people in the woods. And I was able to actually see the places they live in.
So Cathy, this is local. This is
Yes.
This is in our backyard.
Yes. And to let you know, the numbers for homelessness in Richmond, in the Richmond metro area, are 700, and that's the ones they can count. So it's probably even more than that. But so what people do, I was amazed when he took me, and places that you ride by every day you don't notice, right in that woods, there are tents. They might take pallets, put tarps on it, whatever they can find. Go ahead and show another one. They try to find overhangs anywhere they can when it's raining or in bad weather. This person was lucky enough to have a real nice warm sleeping bag. Okay, and then this would be the last one of the homeless situation. The lucky ones get a place under an underpass, and that protects them from the environment. Now, what happened was with Blessing Warriors, shall I just go on?
Sure.
Okay. The ladies started setting up tents on an overflow property on Oliver Hill Way at the Ann Giles Center, and it turned out to be to where it got to 120 tents at the Ann Giles Center. And she had it running really efficiently. The police station was right across from it, but they didn't have permission to do this, so I can kind of understand the city came if you want to go to the next picture, with the clothing, and tore down all the tents. A lot of these people they have lost their identity because if they don't have a connection with the family or stuff, they don't have their birth certificate. So, you know, they helped them get a lot of their identities, and all their possessions were taken in this situation.
So you wanted to find a permanent solution
Yes.
for housing, not a temporary solution
Right.
that clearly was not working. So
Yeah.
what led you to the next step?
Okay, so this really upset me too. And I said, somebody's got to do something about this. And like Rachel just said, thank God for all the organizations that help the homeless. I mean, buying the food and all the other stuff to sustain them, but it's like putting a Band-Aid on it. It's never ending. We need a permanent solution. That's the chain that's missing. So I started researching what other cities, well, first I went to a few organizations locally, and that wasn't what they do. And so I started researching what other cities are doing across the United States and found the Eden Village model, and one was starting in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I was able to go visit. And it's kind of like a franchise, like a Chick-fil-A. You could have a sandwich shop sell the exact same sandwiches, but their name on it, you're going to get a lot more recognition. And so,
Oh, is it next slide, please? So what I loved, and Cathy and I have talked for hours, and I know there's so much. She's such a wealth of information. I beg you to speak with her after this. There's so much going on. But what I loved about it is she's not trying to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
This is a proven model. It's in several cities all across the United States. Like she said, there's one just opened in Wilmington. And the concept is multiple smaller homes.
okay.
With amenities and
Yes.
support.
What it is, it's a gated community with a fingerprint entry. Can you hear me? We try to keep it controllable, around 30-some homes. The visionary for this model took what he learned. He worked at a community first in Austin, Texas, which is 20 acres with tents and sheds and that kind of stuff. And he took it and perfected it to make it something that communities would accept, because you'll hear a lot of people not wanting that. But when they see this, the whole community gets behind it and excited, and it's very acceptable. After we get one built, we will build a lot more. We need to build a lot more.
So we're early, but we
right.
have a location, or we
Okay.
have one in mind.
Yes. It took me a long time. The idea behind this is finding land that's zoned properly, and using the county GIS system. After 10 months, I accidentally found a spot.
It wasn't an accident.
And the zoning is for like a mobile homes, a trailer park. So I found this property. It wasn't for sale. I wrote the owner. He was willing to sell it. My daughter's a lawyer. My husband retired as a director of disaster response for FEMA, so they really are backing me up. We've gotten our nonprofit. So we're trying to raise funds to make a purchase on the land. My church, Clover Hill, has given us $20,000. We've raised $26,000, so we've got 46, but we need more.
And so your location, I think, is important. It's like 5 minutes from here, just up
Yes,
Route 1.
it is
so
very
5 minutes. This is in our back door.
next to
backyard.
the Lowe's on Jefferson Davis Highway. The imperfect thing about that too, there's a bus stop right across.
So
And-
we are in the fundraising stage.
Right.
Do we want to pass out? How can we get involved? Because I know homelessness is such a huge problem. Most of us probably feel paralyzed. Well, I can give a couple dollars to this guy asking, but what do I do?
Okay.
And I know you and I have talked, and you're in need of a CPA type person for a small, like a 30-minute donation for an audit, admin people, anyone that has a heart for this has a spot in this ministry. So don't think, oh, I can't do anything, or I only have a couple hours. You can partner, you can pray a prayer walk in that location.
Right.
Do we want to go ahead and pass out?
Yeah, let me talk about these real quick. Also, I just want to say real quick, the people do need to make a little bit of money. The rent will be $350, which includes utilities. So a lot of them do get disability or veterans benefits or something. But the fundraisers we're doing, the one's called, I love the Helen Keller quote, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." And it's a 35-piece puzzle. And we're trying to find 35 people that will do recurring donations of any $20, $30, $40, whatever a month you can do. Right now we're up to $500 a month, but we need to get that to like $1,500. So that's one. If you want to go to the next picture. This is a Tree of Life. Since we're called Eden Village, we want to concentrate on the Tree of Life that was in the Garden of Eden. And what the dream is to find 100 people, churches, organizations, families, that will give $1,000, and that would get us to the point we need to be able to purchase land and make payments on it. Or you could buy one in honor or memory of someone. So, and then another fundraiser. I didn't get into the Bible or read it till I was 28 years old. And when I did, I became obsessed with it. I got into several year-long Bible studies, read every Christian reader I could get. And my first story was Job. If you've read Job, it's a pretty amazing story. And I thought, this is the kind of stories that are in the Bible? This sounds like the Charlie Daniels, The Devil Went Down to Georgia song. So anyway, so I've written 2 devotionals. I do devotions every day. It's my favorite time of day. And I just want people to realize the stories from thousands of years ago relate to us today. And these are 2 short 2-page stories. If you don't do a devotion, this would be a great way to start your day. All the proceeds will go to Eden Village till there's no more homelessness.
Awesome. And would you, we have a few, we have
and these are
that shows you how you can get connected, how you can get more information. Also, Eden Village has an official website. Like I said, it's, like she said, kind of a franchise model. So it's a proven model. Get involved, figure out how you can get connected, and absolutely see Cathy in the back. I had one other quick announcement.